Hello and welcome to my new channel, Teach Me Tech. Today we're going to be building in public. We're walking through simple but super important Linux labs, finding where you are, exploring directories, creating project directories, and safely deleting those. So we're going to be using many commands: navigation, creation, and destruction. If you're new, don't worry, I'll guide you through step by step. We'll be working with all these commands right here. So let's jump into our first lab. And I'll be working on a Linux server on a virtual machine. I'll create that video later as I progress through the series. So we want to enter in our first command, pwd. As you can see on my screen, it shows /home/vboxuser. That is just printing out my current working directory. If you're following along, pause and see what yours looks like. So moving into it and creating in public, we're going to be building directories. And we can do that with the mkdir command. So I'm going to type in mkdir with the naming of op. Enter, and we get a new line. As you can see on the screen, nothing really shows up, so we are unaware if it's our first attempt to see if anything has been created. So I'm going to use another command, and that is going to be ls. Now that's going to check our work. As we can see, highlighted in blue, we can see the directory op. So I'm going to use another command as well to go into that directory, and it's going to be cd op cd op. And as you see, the path has changed just slightly with a /op. Now I'm in the directory that I just created. So we're looking at which command creates a new directory. That's going to be mkdir. The command to list the directories will be ls to check our work. And to change our directories, we use the command cd to change directories. And now we can start adding files into our op directory. So let's go through that step. With another command, we use touch, touch. And we're just playing around, so I'm just going to say report.txt to create a text file, touch config.conf to create a configuration file, touch to make a note.md, and why not just make one more for another directory within this op directory, mkdir archive. Okay, now we've created things within our directory, our op directory. So now we should have 3 files and a directory within the op directory. That's great. So we've went through many commands already, and you would think we would stop at this point, but we're going to keep going on, and we're going to look farther into more of the structure and the command flags. Command flags will need to be listed on another video, but let's just dive into it while we're in here already. So we're using the ls command as an example, and I need to find additional information on what is used with ls command. So I do ls space -- help, and that lists out a ton of information for ls. And what I'm looking for is listing out long format information. So I want to use ls-l to list out some additional information like the permissions, the owner, and the size of that directory, and anything listed in it. So We want to find directory information. We want to find the owner and the group, maybe the time and the date of last modification. Now, it's getting pretty much advanced information at this point, and we may be lost. So to backtrack a little bit, I'm going to clear out the screen with the simple clear, and it gets us back to what we're looking at. So the command I was using, or looking up information, was ls. Then we did a l. This information is looking at the OP directory that was created. So we had the archive listed as a directory within OP. We had the 3 files, config, note, and report, all giving us additional information on the left-hand side that we see right here. We're looking at read, write, R for read, W for write, and if there was execution that we can see on the directory for the archive, they would have permissions to execute if they needed to. All right, so we have that, and we can make more. So I'm going to go out of the OP directory and back into my home directory. So if you're still following along, and pwd is the first one that we used, and do an ls to view that information. We may be lost at this point, but we're still going to go on. So we can create a second directory with the command that we first used, or earlier that we used, mkdir oop, to just specify that it's different from op, ls, and we can see oop and op as being created as directories. Let's go in and create more for our Orion project for OOP. So I'm going to use the command cd OOP to go into that directory. And I'm going to start creating these documents and archives and everything like that within OOP. So I can do that with mkdir Orion underscore specs, mkdir Orion underscore docs, and mkdir Orion archives. View the information to verify that we created it, and we can see in the blue Orion archives, Orion documents, docs, and Orion specs. Great. Now let's create it. Now that we created it, let's destroy it. Deleting directories, if you will. What do you want to delete? Do you want to delete a file? Do you want to delete the whole directory? It depends on what we're trying to do. So we can use the rm command, rmdir command, and that will only work if the folder, or the directory, has 0 files inside of it. We can't necessarily say that it is empty, so we can't use that command, rmdir. So we move to alternative with a non-empty directory. So for instance, let's just say that I go out and go back to home and list out, I have OOP as a directory and OP as a directory. If I wanted to use rmdir OOP, they'll give me an error message saying that it's not empty, the directory is not empty. So how much destruction do I want to do? I can say rm-r and say OOP. What do you think we have done right now? Let's take a look. I completely destroyed the directory. I removed it with rm-r space OOP. No longer exists. So I've done maximum damage to the OOP directory that we created. Now, that's very destructive. Let's go into OP for a second and list out everything that we have. Now, for a single, let's say report text, we can do rm dir with report.txt, or sorry, rm report.txt, and list it out and see that we have removed it. Just that one file, just that one text file. So we did quite a bit. We have done quite a bit so far. And that was the first lab of actually building in public. So we'll stop right there and we'll create more as I go along. If you're interested in helping the channel, please donate and buy me coffee below. All right. Thank you. Bye.